Oh, what's up, netizens? You're watching Dark Star. My name's Anthony. I'm doing my fellow reaction here. Chris. So I saw it had Dave Batista, who I primarily know from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Which, to be fair, I mean, even though I only really know him from that, which he was great in that, hilarious, really, honestly. I like. He kind of had a weird character transition. I think I've seen people complain about it because in the second one, he's like almost a joke character, whereas in the first one, he was like, he had jokes and he had like that whole literal thing going on, but like he still had like a seriousness to his character in some capacity. Whereas in the second movie, he's just like off the rails, just like pure comedy, basically the whole movie or whatever. So, you know, people complain about that. I don't know. I enjoyed his character quite a bit or whatever, but maybe it's because I'm not as much of a comic book fan, so I don't really know exactly how his character is in the comics comparatively or whatever. But
coming from the comic book world, I feel like anybody who claims that they were like a heavy fan of like anybody besides Nova, because Nova's actually a Guardian of the Galaxy in the comics, is lying.
yeah, there's probably not
like,
many. I mean, they have sales, like so there's at least some fans.
I'm just saying, I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy was Disney's way of being like, we can literally take a comic that has no fan base and turn this shit into gold and boost sales around the.
Well, we've been talking about that. We'll see how true that stays moving into Phase 4 or whatever. Because I'm interested to see how everything goes. They've got Winter Soldier and Falcon, which I reacted to the trailer a little bit ago, and I mean, it looked fine. It's just I'm not quite as invested in those characters, right, as I was for Captain America. So, you know, how motivated am I actually going to be? They're going to have to make another like Guardians type, maybe not quite as good as the Guardians, because that's my personal favorite, so probably not going to reach the heights of that. But they're going to have to make a really fucking good movie to convince people, like, okay, look, even if we don't have the major players anymore, we still can make bangers or whatever. Just trust us. This next phase is going to be good too. So we'll see how that pans out. I mean, they've obviously made incredible movies, even with characters, you know, lesser characters or whatever. I didn't really like Ant-Man, but I thought Ant-Man and Wasp was really good. So even like characters like in that range as well, they've done well with. So can't complain about it.
Down the line,
Black Panther was good. Yeah, Black Panther was really good. Yeah, so I mean, they've got quite a few, obviously, that they've shown they can take characters that aren't Captain America or Iron Man and make them good. And I mean, even you could even look at Iron Man. I mean, in my opinion, it's hard to remember now because of how much of a household name he is. In my opinion, prior to Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man was like a B tier character in terms of like the general population knowing him. Like, comic book fans knew Iron Man, of course, but like most people, they were like, hey, name superheroes or whatever. They would have went down a list of mostly DC characters and then gotten to Spider-Man. Would have been like Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, like Wolverine, like that kind of range of characters, whatever. And Iron Man catapulted his character into that discussion, like into that conversation as well. Just like, oh yeah, obviously Iron Man is in that conversation or whatever. He wasn't there before that. So before the MCU or whatever. So like even he wasn't like Guardians of the Galaxy or anything like that, but he was like middle or upper middle, and then he shot to like top or whatever. So anyway,
that's fair.
What were we talking about? Oh, Batista. I really liked when he defended.
Had an acting career before Guardians, did he?
Did he not?
I know he was a wrestler.
Oh, he's a wrestler.
He used to be a wrestler. But I think he had an acting career before Guardians. I think Guardians was his like debut. Yeah, it's like a badass debut, dude.
All I know
go
is
over here and play the slow guy. That's
all I can tell you is, and I sounds like you're right. I'm remembering basically the same thing you are. All I can tell you is he earned a lot of respect from me, which I know is really important to him. No, but he earned my respect heavily when he defended and was basically like, I'm not doing the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie if Whedon, right? Isn't the fucking director or whatever, because
Gunn,
James Gunn, that's what it was. I thought it was Whedon. Anyway, yeah, James Gunn isn't the thing when he had his whole controversy thing going on or whatever, and he was like, I don't care, I'm not doing the next one unless you guys basically hire him. And then actually, like, that whole situation was baller because there's too much like play it on the safe side, like guilty until proven innocent stuff going on in Hollywood, in my opinion. Like, yeah, sure, if like something like, I don't know, like who's the guy on House of Cards?
Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, right? Like that came out. There was no like denials. Like his defense was, well, I'm also homosexual, so I guess that excuses me for this like behavior. It's like, no, obviously it doesn't. And there was no like speculation. There was no like iffiness like there is with what's currently going on. What's his name? Johnny Depp. Like with Johnny Depp's thing or whatever, right? Where he had to step down from being Grindelwald because his wife abused him. But I mean, it's kind of iffy or whatever exactly is going on with that. But you know what I mean? Like that's a situation where it's just like, you take Kevin Spacey situation, it's like, yeah, obviously. Okay, so if you do that, we understand because we know. It's not a mystery. It's not like there's mitigating circumstances or we're trying to figure out what's going on. Like, we know what happened. When you've got, like, Gunn and Depp, it's like there's something going on here. We don't know exactly what's going on. Like, let's try to figure this out before we just start saying, like, you're not allowed to be in the face of our products anymore. And it's just like, that's craziness.
Right.
So
Hollywood definitely has adapted that kind of mentality. I mean, I was watching that show. You probably didn't watch it, but it was a Netflix original, The Ranch. And it had a lot of people from the 70s show. And then there came out some speculation about the guy that played Hyde. I think that was his name in the 70s show. Anyways, he was Rooster, the brother. Obviously not Ashton Kutcher, but the other guy. Yep. And there was speculation about that, and Netflix immediately cut it. Yeah. And then like the show just wasn't as good, so then they just ended the show. And then after the show ended, came out like he was proven innocent and everything else. And it's just like, you guys fucked the show for literally no reason. Like there was no end in sight until that happened. And then they did one season without him. And they're all like, oh, the brother dynamic's not there. How do we fix that? Let's just throw Kristen Bell's husband in here and call him the lost drunk cousin, and we'll see what happens. And it was like, everybody's like, yeah, you guys are really trying to fucking force this brother relationship to happen, and it's just not happening. And so they're like, oh, the show ends.
It's almost like they had all that chemistry from the other show and this one or whatever, and they tried to replace it with something
a little bit,
But yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff. Anyway, so I gained a lot of respect, like I said, for him basically kind of being like, nah, hell nah. Like, no, this is bullshit or whatever. Because a lot of these cases or whatever, like, where are the people standing up for some of these other people or whatever in Hollywood? They don't want to be the next people to get canceled out of it or whatever. So, yeah, I don't really like the shoot first, ask questions later policy that they've got going on or whatever. Now, once again, if you ask questions and get the wrong answers, then shoot away, sure. But I'm just saying, like, there should at least, like, the questions should be asked first and solved before you just suddenly start being like, well, we don't know if it's true or false, so fuck them. Like, that shit bothers me. So, like I said, I gained a lot of respect for him when he did that.
And it's like the whole cast did it, but I think where the respect really goes to Dave Batista on that was that he was the first. And it was without hesitation. Like, it was right away. He would just, right off the bat.
Well, I think some of the other ones, too, were kind of like, they defended him, but they weren't necessarily so hardcore about the fact that, like I'm pretty sure Chris Pratt would have still played Peter Quill. He just was also like, I support Gunn or whatever. Batista was like, no, I'm literally not going to play it. If you guys make a Guardians of the Galaxy movie without him as the director, then I will not be on that movie. You guys could get somebody else to do it or whatever. So, yeah, putting, you know, his shit on the line, which, to be fair, the other ones did put their shit on the line too, because like I said, a lot of people don't want to even show support in these scenarios or whatever, because if you show support for in these scenarios, you'll get a little bit of backlash at first, but then if something does come out where it is proven true or whatever, then you're basically you're an apologist for something like that happening or whatever. So nobody wants to be associated, even if you didn't do it yourself. Now you apparently, you know, are part of that or whatever because you know you showed support to a friend. Association. So, so yeah, people are just like, you know, somebody gets accused of something and it's like, yeah, I don't know, see ya, peace, don't talk to me again. Like, if you get proven, maybe we can work on something again in like 5 to 10 years. Peace. So yeah,
I'm talk now.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's Batista, and then the other part of this is Snyder. I think is the one that directed this. If I'm remembering correctly. So this is I
hope that's on his resume too. I stuck up for James Gunn. It's like between Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy 3, what were you doing? Sticking up for James Gunn.
Yeah. Snyder probably, okay, now I'm starting to think Snyder might have done something. He was like, all right, I need somebody that when this comes out, I'm going to be able to get them, and then they'll have my back. So I'm going to go ahead and get Batista for this. No, but but yeah, so I think this is the Zack Snyder thing. You weren't on, obviously, when I was talking about the other day when I was doing our thing for the Snyder cut for Justice League, which I think looks pretty good. I don't know if you've seen any of that or what you think about what's going on with that.
And I mean, he's a legend in the comic book world. I mean, everybody knows who he is. So yeah, no, I'm actually excited for his work on the Justice League. I think he's gonna bring a whole new level of that movie, and just, I mean, Zack Snyder would have never let smiling Batman into that movie to begin with. So I'm more than happy to see what he wants to do with it. So
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be crazy long if I remember correctly. Seeing it, it's like 4 hours or something like that or more. Ooh. It's long. Apparently, one of the reasons why he would left the movie or whatever happened with the whole thing, because there was more stuff to it than that, obviously. Because I'm pretty sure his kid died or something like that was part of the reason why he was off the movie or whatever. But apparently, one of the things they clashed about was they wanted, like a 2.5 hour movie or whatever it was, and he said, "I can't make this movie in less than it has to be 4 hours. If I cut out scenes of this movie, it's going to be a bad movie, and it's not going to make any sense." Which, of course, when he got cut and they did that, that's exactly what they did. And almost everybody said after the director's cut edition or whatever of the original Justice League movie came out, they were like, yeah, we watched the director's cut and it was 10 times better because it flowed better and it made sense, and there were scenes missing that were integral to why things were happening in the movie. It was way better or whatever. So this should take that hopefully to a level on top of that. I also thought the original was kind of boring.
Yeah.
Comparatively to what you would expect from a superhero movie. And I don't know if you saw the trailer or whatever for this cut, but holy shit, there were 4 or 5 different locations with fighting or whatever that were not in the original movie that I saw just from watching the trailer or whatever. Crazy looking bigger battles and all that kind of stuff or whatever. So hopefully
Jared Leto coming back to be the Joker yet again, but we lost the grill and everything else. So
that's crazy. So
those hands and lights can't stop me. I just hope